For those of you listening on the pod,
welcome into hour 2. Jacob's wishing he'd never said that. All right, let's talk a little Christian Watson, boys. My man went off yesterday, and again, it's not so much that he's receiving, have 150 receiving yards or 200 receiving yards. This dude, man, it's just like he maximizes every opportunity he's got. He can have 4 targets, make all 4 catches, have 2 touchdowns and 80-some yards receiving like yesterday. It's just a wild thing to think about. So
he's a grown-ass man now. And
let's jump into some Christian Watson here. Here was the first catch that kind of got things going. This was in the first quarter. This is Jordan Love to Christian Watson. Just a quick little hitter to kind of get the ball to number 9 and get things going.
Hoping that Caleb Williams is the guy. Here's Love. Rifles it over the middle of the Watson. In stride and a beauty of a throw and run. Christian Watson up to the 35 that time.
It could have been an RPO. I'm looking at it here. I don't think it was. I don't think it was an RPO. No, it's just a drop back pass. And he's seen outside leverage from the corner as Christian Watson cooked Jalen Johnson. It sounded like Jalen Johnson came out of the game at some point as well. Now we got another clip here. Of course, this is Jordan Love hitting Christian Watson for the 23-yard touchdown, and just a heck of a play here between Jordan Love and Christian Watson. This gives the Packers the 7-0 lead. If I can get it up here so you guys can hear the audio. Here is the Fox broadcast audio of that touchdown.
What's coming? Love has time. Floats one. Watson down there.
Another off the back foot special from Jay Money.
yeah,
There's your Lambeau leap. You got us a Lambeau leap.
Hey, there it is.
Absolutely love it, man. And watching it back here, like you said, Jordan just a fadeaway, drops it in the bucket.
He
Christian
looked like an
Christian
outfielder crow hopping right before he's about to deliver a bomb to home plate, man. That was incredible.
and Christian beat him like 3 times on that route. Like, it's like Love kind of lofted up there. He beat him initially, and then Love lofted, and he had to kind of come back around a little bit. The corner was just on skates, or the DB, whoever it was, safety or whatever it was. The gritty end, the Lambeau leap, you love it, don't you, Chuck? You love
Pretty
it.
sure his dad was tweeting out that it was his a nephew or something that wanted him to do the gritty. He said, "Yeah, he got you, man." And then we still got to silence all the fans that were mad that we hadn't hit a Lambeau leap yet either.
We got 2 Lambeau leaps because Scoot did one post game too. I don't know if you guys saw that.
nice.
That was awesome.
Yeah. So here is the next play. Jordan Love hits Christian Watson again, 41-yard touchdown to extend the Packers' lead to 21-11. Here is that call from Fox.
Love on a play fake. Quick throw. Watson with the speed. Christian Watson off the race, and he's going to win it. Touchdown, Green
Almost
Bay.
22 miles per hour he was clocked at on that one.
Tim, as Jordan threw that ball and Watson, I said touchdown. I started screaming. I was like, it's too easy. I mean, the man is gone.
I saw that single coverage in the slot and knew it was a wrap.
It looked like an RPO, right, Emilio? That's the way I seen that. Keep the screen grab up for me, Tim, so we don't get in trouble. I'm just kind of – so, yeah, he pulls it. Maybe it was just a traditional play fake. That's just a play-action pass, I believe, because they're not – I don't know. It could have been an RPO. You think it was a little looky there?
I think it was a looky to the flat, and he said, just kidding. I'm going to hit the inside slant. All I need to do is pass it 5 yards. I'll get a 40-yard touchdown. No problem.
You're right. So here's what we got, guys. We got a trips right look, and I'll kind of explain it to you here. We got a trips right look, and it's trips right, nub left. And so what they got is the outside one is Romeo. He's blocking for the 3 on a flat. Right. And then, then you got the 2 Christian Watson on a slant. So essentially Jordan puts the ball in the belly. It looked like a 21 or a 22 RPO action, right? Puts the ball in the belly, reads that they're biting on the run, and now it becomes, do you throw to the flat or the slant? And you probably got a little bit of time for the flat to set up to see if Rome can get some leverage there, right? And then, of course, Watson was just running butt naked through the trailer park. Matt LaFleur in his freaking bag on that.
It just reminded me of that first one against the Eagles, where it's like you just gave it to him kind of across the middle and Blankenship, like, deuces, dude. I'll see you later. Like, that thing in 5th gear, and I'll see you later.
Yeah. And again, I don't know if this was the telecast or not, so we better not show it. I think somebody just filmed it. Carson Fowler put it down, but I got to be careful with this. So we'll just get you the audio. This is the audio of Christian Watson running over and doing the Lambeau leap post game like Tim was talking about. Talking to him, boy. I might be able to get you to grab anyway. Yeah, I think we can show this and not get in trouble. We'll drop that down so you can see here. Look at my man in the crowd. Grill too. Love it, dude. Love it. Christian Watson was on one yesterday, boys. He was on one. And again, those final stats for Christian, as we had tweeted out, he finished the day, 4 targets, 4 catches, 89 yards, 2 touchdowns.
He was
just
the best guy around.
Let's go around the horn with Christian Watson here. We'll start with you this time, Jacob. This dude, man, you guys know how I feel about a number one receiver. I don't like to buy into that stuff because number one receiver means we're just going to force the ball. And in all those clips that we just played for you guys, right, all the audio clips of Christian Watson making those plays, he was the open guy. It wasn't, let's just throw it up into double coverage, right?
Yeah. I mean, again, just an unbelievable talent, like physically just a freak. I will say, kind of like how Tim's talking about Jordan Love, I have always been a Christian Watson fan. I'm very, very proud of that. When we drafted him, I was absolutely on the floor. I just could not believe that it came to fruition. Has his up and downs with the injury stuff, but what a freaking pro, man. And this guy, he's a difference maker. I really do like to your point, labeling somebody wide receiver 1 is kind of has a label on it that I don't necessarily want to just give to him just because, like you said, it can mean a lot of different things. But I will say that he just seems like when you need something, when you need a 3rd and long, I mean, what does he average? Yeah, he's averaging 22.3 last game. I mean, it just seems like he's consistently over 20 yards per. I mean, he is just the difference maker. He's so fast. He's so smooth with it. To Amelia's point, I remember exactly what he's talking about with that Philly game. You just dump it off to him and you just watch him, he runs away from people. There was another comment I saw in here earlier that said he's so fast, he makes fast people look slow. And that's true. And it does it effortlessly. Like it seems like it's so easy for him. And I agree with what I think Coach said here. He says, and he needs more targets. I agree. And then let's make him that wide receiver 1. But to Clayton's point earlier, I mean, I almost swore. We got guys that are our quote unquote wide receiver 5 and 6 that are making plays down the field because we've done such a great job of understanding how to build a team. Again, Goody, LaFleur, don't get enough love for that. But Christian Watson, and then you talk about a guy that's just a consummate pro that when you go in, it's never about him. It's never about what he does. You do the post-game show. I think that has to do with how he was raised. We've had his mom on here. We've talked about his father quite a bit. They understand what it meant to raise a grown-ass man, and that's what he is. And he is I think he's starting to put a bunch of people on the league on notice because he is going to be talked about now. He's going to be continued to be talked about. And to people's points earlier, pay that man his money.
Mm-hmm. Tim, how we feeling about? Oh, go ahead, Emilio. You go.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, yeah, I'm glad that they ended up getting the pay that man early. Make sure we figure that thing out so that he's not worried about having to produce. I mean, because imagine if he's coming out here straining himself to try to get these numbers. Right now, he's just getting these numbers because he's a part of this team. Dude's a freak athlete. He's the best to ever play this game. I've been saying it before.
He said that like 6 times in the chat.
I'll keep saying it, Jacob. I mean, just get that man the ball and just let him do his thing.
There's going to be somebody that eventually comments and goes, "Do y'all really think Christian Watson's the best player to ever play in the game?" It's going to happen. I'm just waiting on it.
It's coming. But yeah, man, he's a dog, and you can't sleep on him. I mean, we're just blessed that we have him. That's one player on this, this roster of 53 plus that is just, just a dog, and just sort of the way it all sort of, melts together.
Amelia, was he NDSU?
Yeah.
So you're telling me that 2 of our most explosive players that I can remember in recent history are coming out of the Dakotas?
Yeah, coming out of D2.
Let's go, bro.
And honestly, there's some dogs coming out of D2 this year, Jacob. So we might have to keep our eyes. I'm pretty sure there's a running back we might need to keep our eye on out of there.
Yeah, Tim, I'll tell you this, man. Every time I hear D2, I think of Bethune-Cookman College and Nick Collins, man. You got to continue to comb through those smaller schools to get the great players. Now, what do you think about Scoot's performance here before we move on, man?
Yeah, Scoot is that dude. He is him, as the kids say, right? And I think the evolution of his role in Matt's offense is really fun to watch, right? I mean, look at the routes that we're sending him on. Look at, how he's lining up in some of these sets. It seems like gone are the days of, Christian running these jet sweeps all day long. You're starting to see the route tree expand. You're starting to see more than just 9 routes up the sideline. You're starting to see getting him the ball early in space and letting him cook like we just talked about. I'm just glad that he's a Packer. You know, I think of the adversity that Christian had, and with injuries and drops as a rookie. If he was in another offense, I wonder how he'd develop in this league. So it's really cool to see him in a Matt LaFleur offense and being utilized the right way. And I think the targets are going to come. Jordan spreads that ball around. Matt schemes guys open in this offense all the time. The targets are going to be there for Scoot, and Jacob, right, man, the conversation is going to get really loud now because the league's on notice when it comes to Christian Watson out there on the field.
Yeah, I love that you mentioned how they're lining him up too, because again, we just showed you the RPO or explained the RPO, the looky flat there, right? You had the three, I think it was Jaden Reed or Matthew Golden that was in the flat, and you had Scoot as the number 2 running a slant.
Mm-hmm.
We've seen Scoot on comeback routes. We've seen him on out routes. We've seen him on slants. We've seen him on crossers. We've seen him on goes, on deep posts, the whole 9 yards. I mean, they've got him moving all over this offense, which is really, really exciting. So, so there you go. Christian Watson, another dominant performance. Sooner or later, we got to look up and go, all right, he is the absolute real freaking deal, right? And I think everybody here is convinced. I think everybody here is convinced he is. The thing that, again, you don't overpay for good, you overpay for great. Christian Watson is playing better than great football right now. Better than great.
Yep.
Your elite level football. And on top of that, you mix in the fact that Christian Watson is a locker room guy, right? He's a guy who's worked his ass off from an ACL. As Emilio said, he can block. He does it all. He'll kick you into the wing and run block for you out of the C gap. So again, Christian Watson, man, I'm so
Can
excited.
you imagine that though from that Pittsburgh game? Like we pull up that super chat. Can you imagine us sitting here right now talking about Christian as
we need to pull that up.
Come on now, because he literally everything that we've needed in the offense he has. And it's not like, so you go back and look at the kid. Yeah, you're looking at Justin Jefferson. Okay, you got all these great wide receivers. How many of them have 220, 6'4" as a frame? That doesn't happen. With speed that he has, he has better speed than basically all of the all-star receivers. So it's coming.
Great point. Mike Witt with the super chat. Thank you, buddy. Says, I know I should get over it, but I can't believe how bad the refs were last night. Not one holding call on Micah. Evan should have had that INT. Plus, I'm still wondering how that Musgrave play. Yeah, we're going to hit that in the segment after the next one for sure. We're going to dive into the bad officiating for sure. We appreciate the super chat, Mike. Agree on all accounts there, man. And shout out to Mark Zambito, who just became a member here on YouTube. Thank you so much for the support, Mark. You're the man. So if you guys are watching this clip, back later, let us know what you think about Christian Watson. Do you consider him good, great, or elite? Where do you put him on the scale? How much money are you willing to pay him? We got to wait a full year after that mini extension we gave him to kind of make sure everything was good to go there with the ACL. Let us know in the comments what you think about Christian Watson. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the future. All right, let's move along to defense, guys. Let's jump into the defensive side of things here as, our boy Jeff Hafley. That's a perfect grab right there, Tim. Actually, leave that up for me, sir. That's beautiful there. So we kept hearing about how Caleb Williams is this, Caleb Williams is that. Boy, he's dominant, blah, blah, blah. The Bears fans have convinced themselves he's an elite quarterback. All the analytics that we focus on that we think really does tip the cap and give you an idea of who's playing really good quarterback play and who isn't suggests that Caleb Williams is somewhere around the 15 to 20 mark. Well, yesterday the defense showed up, and they showed up big time, especially in the first half. Let's start it off with Kingsley Enagbare sack of Caleb Williams. He almost killed this poor feller. Here was Kingsley Enagbare with the only sack of the day, if I remember correctly, on the Packers defense.
Up on the inside part of that defense. Breaks through. He's in trouble. Smash! Enagbare got through.
I love it, man. And again, keep that up for me, Tim. As I roll it back here, I'm trying to see where he lined up. They had him lined up on the edge on the left. They had Micah shoot the gap underneath, and then it was almost like a cage rush that we talked about. You've seen Caleb tried to step up. As great job by Micah going to the outside shoulder that we talked about of Caleb, and then Kingsley Enagbare, as Caleb stepped up, did not even see him, and he smacked Caleb right in the mouth, dude. What an awesome sack there from Enagbare. And we're going to dive into some of the numbers here. You can go ahead and drop that down now, Tim, if you're available. So the memes yesterday were just absolutely awesome, man. These were gold. All right. The first one, I want to give a shout out to Big B. He throws this out there and gets the party started. All right. You see, they basically
That broke me up.
yeah, they Photoshop 9 or JJ McCarthy on Caleb's body here, right?
Oh, wow.
And here were the stats that Big B had, and then I updated them shortly after. Guys, go give Big B a follow at Big Packers 4X on Twitter. Best quarterback in the NFC North. 5 of 12, 22 passing yards, no touchdowns, and a 41.7% completion percentage at this moment in the game. Absolute disaster class of a first half there for our boy Caleb Williams. So obviously, starting off week, I had put the tweet out here with the updated numbers going into the half. His first half stats, I should say here for Caleb Williams was pulled up. 6 of 14. 32 yards passing, no touchdowns, no interceptions. He was sacked once for 9 yards. And I love this meme that's going around as a shout out to AN343 says absolute ass instead of absolute cinema. They just marked it out and put ass. So that pretty much summed up Caleb Williams' first half again. Mm-hmm. And then, of course, people started building off the memes, and this might be my favorite one. So we're going to give a shout out over on X to this follower at Not So ESPN X at Not So ESPN X. Make sure you go give them a follow. So they did a little Photoshop here of the same image.
Look at the nails. Look at the nails.
It's JJ McCarthy on Caleb Williams' body. And he added, what kind of tea? Is that some kind of green tea?
Oh, yeah, that's that
boba tea, right?
No, it's that matcha, Jacob.
Oh, of course. Sure. Never mind. You'd know that. Yeah.
Tim, I love the level of detail in which they put on the fingernail painting here, where they just took the blue marker and painted the nails.
Soy. Oh, it could be a soy.
There you go. Yeah, Doug in the chat. The nails and a soy latte. So, yeah. Again, Caleb Williams was supposed to come in and just wreck everyone's world here yesterday. Let's start off with the first half because, again, he heated up in the second half, had a couple of throws where you're like, there's the arm talent we've seen in the past. Let's go around the horn. Tim, that's just a nail job here, man. Is that shellac? What do they got on that right there on those nails, man?
I don't know. We'd have to ask Caleb. I'm not sure, who his preferred nail tech of choice is. But, yeah, the memes are flowing on a Victory Monday. You got to love it. You got to love it.
I mean, one thing that I can say, like you said, the first half, I was just I'm like, where are we trying to see this generational talent over here? Because I don't see anything other than a guy that's, barely even able to get the ball over the line of scrimmage. He ended up with, to your point,
you didn't know, Jacob, the Bears get a generational talent at quarterback every couple of drafts.
Every couple of drafts. Yeah. He finished with 19 of 35 for 186, averaging only 5.3. That to me is kind of the biggest indicator. He's not cutting it up. He's not throwing down the field like Jordan Love does. He's not actually like making pinpoint long throws. To me, he's just kind of is he a starting quarterback? Sure. Yeah. He's probably like a top 20. That's in my opinion. Like the leg stuff, to me, he looks more chaotic and more out of control most of the time. And then, yeah, he's got an arm talent where he can kind of make up for that sometimes and just absolutely throw a dime on a rope. But he doesn't need to have to put himself in those situations. In my opinion, if he was as good as he thinks he is, he would know how to do his footwork, how to drop back, how to actually use his talents to the point where he could exploit the defense. But to him, to kind of Clayton's point earlier, it just seems like he wants to show himself as a highlight reel every single play. And it doesn't matter if that hurts or helps the team. He just wants to look good on film. I cannot tell you how happy I am the Bears decided to draft this man, and we'll just go from there.
Can't leave
lifetime contract for Poles, baby.
Yeah, done, babe.
Let's go.
Telling you, man.
Let Poles cook, baby.
So,
hey, what quarterback are they going to take in next year's draft?
Let's continue with the Caleb Williams talk for just a second, or not Caleb Williams, but the defense talk, I should say. So Caleb did heat up in the second half, right? You've seen his ability to scramble, although there were Bears fans that were saying, well, okay, yeah, what they say, Micah hasn't seen a quarterback run like Caleb yet. And they were like, you do know that Micah's faster than Caleb, right? And the Bears fans are like, no, he's not. No, he's not. So 40 time that Caleb was projected like a 4.5 40. Micah Parsons 4.3. In terms of miles per hour, Micah has been clocked. his fastest time this year was faster than Caleb Williams. Again, the facts don't care about your feelings, Bears fans. They don't, okay? And here is, again, he heats up in the second half, but when the game's on the line, when you need it the most, of course, Caleb does not see the wide open DJ Moore underneath. Instead, he hits the Green Bay Packer in the back of the end zone. This is the Keyshawn Nixon interception with the dagger. Here is the Fox call.
On the fake, Williams looking, throwing, it is intercepted! Keyshawn Nixon and the Packers will win it!
I love it when the announcers just shut up and let you hear the moment.
Yes.
Pat Summerall was the best at that. And I'm telling you, Kevin Burkhardt.
Pat Summerall was refreshing his cocktail. That's why.
Exactly. That is just the Kevin Burkhardt. Is it Kevin Burkhardt and Tom Brady?
Yeah.
Emilio, is that right?
Yeah.
They are growing on me big time. Tom is getting better every single week. Every week.
I love his energy. I mean, Jacob was saying it earlier. You could feel when something happens, the play happens, Tom's energy with it. But yeah, I mean, you got what? Caleb out there, which is actually 2 9s put together. So you got 2 JJs out there creating 1 Caleb that all he can do is roll left and right. I mean, come on now. We could sit in Tampa 2 and have those 2 hard flats just come up field every play, and that would just stop Caleb from rolling out. Like I don't understand where their offense would be if he could stay inside the tackle boxes.
Right. That's a great point. Great point. So we have the angle. We should be able to show this. Shout out to @Packers Playbook. All right. It's James over on X. Make sure everybody go gives him a follow here. He shared this clip on X. This is just an awesome shot. So this is the end zone camera view of the interception. So him in the stands, right? Basically, the Packers tweeted out and said, hey, show us your clips of the Keyshawn Nixon, the reaction to the Keyshawn Nixon interception. This guy said, I've actually got it right here. And posted it from the stands. So this is an awesome clip. Let's play it. Again, well, let me go back to the other one so we can continue to give credit here. Again, this is our boy Packers Playbook on X. Everybody go give him a follow. Here we go. Here is the view. 1:46, going to be a lot of screaming, a lot of loud, but hey, that's what we do on Victory Monday, man. You want to embrace what it felt like inside Lambeau. Here we go. Take a second to give a shout out to the crowd for just bringing freaking energy.
Take off.
Fucking go.
Yeah, you should know anytime we're going live inside Lambeau, earmuff it. All right, let's get the kids out of the all right, we gotta stop. But again, how cool was that? That reaction, that pop in that stadium to the Keyshawn Nixon. And I love that Keyshawn, what did he do? He immediately came over to the fans and celebrated with the fans, right? Yeah. Absolutely love it. Notice too, Tim, there's a few flurries floating around there in the sky, wasn't there, man?
Yep, just a little bit. It was getting colder too at that point. You're approaching like 8 or 9 degrees at that point.
Yeah, just an absolutely awesome shot. Thank God. @Packers Playbook. Shout out to James. Grab that moment and just it's just so cool to see.
That's my view right there. See the cheese head kind of hanging out in the front like that? That's literally my view at every game. Just
it does
sombrero.
Yeah.
That actually makes the video, don't it? The fact it's literally like a GoPro cam or something, right? So
I love it.
Yeah. Gregory says goosebumps feel like I was there again. Man, we got the best fan base, dude.
With a little Enter Sandman, Clay, to get you going for the drive. Come on now.
Dude, let's freaking go, man. So Cal Melzon, shout out to him. He tweeted out a video. If you'll give me a screen grab just in case someone does upload this on YouTube. Protect us here, Tim. Anything. Actually, give me the Ben Johnson. Ben Johnson's probably my favorite, man. So this was Evan Williams actually talking about that play. And again, I know there's a portion of the fan base that want to try to rate Keyshawn Nixon over the freaking coals for whatever reason. This was Evan Williams talking about that specific play and how Keyshawn Nixon actually bailed him out on this play. Here we go.
Oh, I mean, he was I'll say it, he was saving my butt on that play, I must say. We were kind of, all working together, but no, that was definitely my man. But the back kind of came out. I knew Quay was on the back, and he would have been, that would have been pitch and catch if he was able to get it to the flat. He was right in front of him. So I kind of just off instinct, took off and played the flat and was praying that somebody was behind me to make the play on the corner. And sure enough, Jesus himself, 25 and makes a play. I was just like, thank you so much.
He said, like Jesus himself. Now drop that screen grab down, Tim. And we got to give a shout out to the Flash 832.
No, you didn't.
And listen, I understand.
AI is out of control, guys. It's out of control.
Don't get offended.
Hey, I understand. Listen, there's going to be my fellow Christians out there. I'm a Christian too. They're going to get offended by this. Can we have fun for just 2 seconds? That you got to admit, man, that's pretty good. Absolutely awesome, man. Again, Twitter was on one, man. And I also want to point out too, as we wrap up the defensive segment here, Pack Daddy's tweet that we started with when we talked about Josh Jacobs. The Packers had 4 explosive runs yesterday. The Packers defense held the Bears' awesome top 5 running offense to 0 explosive runs. And we talk about that all the time because when you hit an explosive, a run of 10 yards or more, a pass of 20 yards or more, it triples your chances of scoring on that drive. That was the number one, in my opinion, outside of the turnover differential in the middle 8. That's the key statistic yesterday is the fact that our defense held them to 0 explosive runs. So,
Hey, real quick, just before we end the segment, I think, again, it's the theme of this podcast now. More respect needs to be given to Keyshawn Nixon. I will admit wholeheartedly that I doubted him when he came over. I believe from the Raiders. Correct me in the chat if I'm wrong. I didn't understand it. All of a sudden, in the last 2 years, I've just absolutely seen the type of player he is, the type of mentality he has. He's a dog, bro. He's coming out there and he's fighting. He's swinging every single game. He's throwing haymakers, and I absolutely love it. I love his mentality, the aggressiveness he plays with. I will completely eat a big old slice of humble pie and say that I was wrong. He is that guy. I absolutely love him as a CB. I don't know if you call him CB1, CB2, whatever the case may be. Freaking love the guy.
Yeah, absolutely, man. I want to hit this super chat real quick from Mike Witt. He said, I just loved watching Christian absolutely cook that loudmouth Gardner Johnson's a great point, as we were talking about there in the last segment. Yeah, he did.
Tweeting out early before the game, right? Saying
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
We're going to give him some.
Love that our guys. That's 2 or 3 weeks in a row that Christian's been disrespected. He didn't say anything, went out there and balled out. And then he tweeted afterwards, he didn't last night, but I know against was it the Giants or the Lions? I think it was against the Lions. He tweeted something out, right, that a DB was running that mouth. So just love it, man. Go out there and do it on the field, then talk that trash. And by the way, a shout out to @CalebFC18 on Twitter. Boy, if you want some receipts, just go scroll down his timeline. My God, this guy is batting about, he's batting about 15 right now. He said yesterday, DJ Moore and a Shiesty. Emilio, pull his stats for me real quick. Quick little Google search. I need to know just to confirm what DJ Moore's stats were. DJ Moore and a Shiesty, going to be a long day for the Packers secondary.
I got his stats right here, Clay. You want them?
What do you got here, man? What we got?
1 reception for a whopping -4 yards.
His receiving it's tough.
Hey, 3 times, though, so if that makes you feel a little better.
So, again, the tweet read, DJ Moore and a Shiesty, going to be a long day for the Packers secondary. So, yeah, that's not so much, Bob. Not so much.
I love how they put in his actual stat line, it says he is a long of -4 yards.
Is that a new record? Did I break it down?
High score. What does that mean?
Oh, so there you go. That's the
he got targeted 3 times. I'm pretty sure he was the one that Key also blew up on the quick little RPO or bubble right there, or the lookie, and he just got absolutely destroyed, dude.
Yeah, just wild, dude. Absolutely wild. So, again, defense showed up big time. First half, we always talk about it, right? There's 4 phases to the game, or I'm sorry, 3 phases to the game, essentially. You got the first quarter, you're gathering information. The second and third quarter is about taking that information, making the adjustment, and controlling the middle 8. right? Packers won the middle 8, 7-3. Now, that adjustment coming out in the second half, the Bears made an awesome adjustment. They came out actually using the pass. So they were play action pass, play action pass, play action pass. And knowing the Packers were selling out to stop the run. What was our game plan going in, guys? That was our game plan.
Yeah.
Stop the run and make Caleb beat you through the air. In the second half, they made the adjustment. That was our weak spot because we're still trying to stop the run. And then what happened in the fourth quarter? It's a standalone game. Throw everything out the window. What's working right now? What are they doing right now? Treat this fourth quarter like a standalone game. You did that. You stop them on the final drive. You get the dub. It was a masterclass. It was literally first quarter, gather information. Second and third, control the middle 8, make the adjustment. Fourth quarter, standalone game.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come out and you win the ball game by 7 points. And again, you were 6.5 point favorites. You covered the spread. Go ahead, Bill.
24 of his dropbacks were play action. 61% of his dropbacks were play action. 15 were no play action. They had five of them are screens. 34 of them were not screens. So I mean, dude, literally two thirds of his entire offense was fake the ball, run outside, and see if I can hit him. Besides that, I mean, I don't know where their offense is. I really don't.
How long can he do that in his career? You know what I mean?
Right.
I mean, your legs slow down one bit, it's a wrap. It really. I mean, it's
exactly.
He's got the explosiveness right now. Don't get me wrong, but that only lasts for so long, and you can only get away with just a naked boot for so long until they say screw it. I'm just not going to jump on that. We're going to have one dude that's coming off the edge and just keys on the court. Like when Evan Williams came in on that blitz, if Evan didn't flatten that off to go after the back, could you imagine him just sticking Caleb as he turns, like just helmet on the ball, fumble, we're going the other way. The game's out of hand at that point. So I think that in coming into this next game too, Hafley's going to really start to scheme that up, sort of plan for that. Hey, he can't. And what got me was when they were the announcer, KB, I think it was, man, what a pass by Caleb. It was literally a 10-yard curl route. Best pass of the day for him right there, for sure. Like, all right, buddy, I'm glad he stayed in the pocket one time and threw the ball.
Yeah, definitely. All right. So there's your defensive breakdown. If you guys are watching this video back later, let us know in the comments what you think about the Packers defense. How did you like the game plan? What did you think they should have done different in the second half? How did you feel about the first half dominance over Caleb Williams? We want to hear from you in the comments. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and click that bell icon so you're notified when we go live here in the near future. All right. Let's jump into the controversial part. I see some of these comments here in the chat, guys. It says, Steve in the chat. Steve knows the policy. Love it. Look at this. Parsons is the most held defensive player in the NFL. It's not even close either. It is not even close. Jen Wright says we need a stat for the most missed holding calls. Boy, good luck with that, Jen. That would be impossible to gather because they have been one after another. And so let's just jump into that. This is the segment we saved for the end here. And this is obviously going to be talking about the officiating. And it's easy to go, well, it's just Bears fans complaining. No, it's not just Bears fans, guys. This was all across social media, multiple people, right? I'm going to start the party off with my tweet here. And this one, again, this is everybody who's raking Keyshawn Nixon over the coals for this penalty should not have been a penalty, first and foremost. Now, I love that Matt LaFleur still disciplined. He sat him, right? He brung it up in the post game, but then also gave credit where Keyshawn rose to the occasion at the end. So I think Matt LaFleur taught a master class there on how to handle this situation. But I'm going to play a quick video. This was what got Keyshawn Nixon penalized. I want you to notice here, he's walking back to where our defensive huddle is. The Bears are on the opposite side, right, to Keyshawn's left. They're supposed to be huddling up over there. And you had a guy that made comments, Luther Burden Jr., made comments.
Rookie? Is that a rookie running his mouth?
What a
all week long made comments. You could tell he was going to go out there and just be the mouthy one, right? And you see he's hanging out near where our huddle's supposed to be. 14's coming to get him like, hey, Luther, stop talking, right? So he's in Carrington's face talking trash of where our huddle's going to be. So Keyshawn walks up and tells him, get out of the huddle, right? That first of all, that's not a penalty. If he's talking, we're allowed to talk, right? No. He's telling him, get out of the huddle, right? DJ Moore hanging out over there too, by the way, trying to provoke him. So he grabs Keyshawn by the throat.
What? Oh, my God.
He grabs Keyshawn by the throat.
Yeah, so naturally this is a penalty on Keyshawn, right?
Yeah. And now Carrington comes in and gets between them like, get out of here, dude. Get his hand. He didn't even punch him. He pushed his arm off of Keyshawn's throat like, get out of here. The Packers get flagged, and specifically Keyshawn Nixon got flagged right there for that.
This is terrible.
absolutely wild that got called that way. And I know I'm a Packer fan. I'm biased. I got you, right? Well, let's go across social media. Dan Orlovsky even tweeted out, the officiating in the Green Bay-Chicago game is so bad, right? You've seen it all day long. Now you go, okay, well, that doesn't say that the Packers got the calls. Look, what were the overall penalties? If somebody will pull those stats for me, because it wasn't even close how many
4
times.
of 17 for the Bears, 6 of 55 for the Packers.
There you go. So literally, what, almost 50 yards differential in yardage from penalty yards. And I bring this up not to, I mean, yeah, we're complaining about the officials, but it's to point out, if those calls hadn't gone that way, right, and we hadn't got screwed by the officials, you probably win this game by 10 or 14 points. Yep. So that's why I feel way better about where this team's at. Now let's continue going. Let's go to Scoot's dad. What did Scoot's dad think on X, right? And listen, Scoot's dad will be critical of the Packers. If you guys follow him, he'll rake the coaches over the coals. He'll rake a player over the coals. He calls it like he sees it, whether you agree with him or not. This is his honest opinion. What's going on? He quote tweeted Dan Orlovsky and said, "Bad is an understatement. The Packers are playing against the Bears and the officials and still winning 14-3." So again, that's what kept the Bears in the game. Imagine if these calls don't go for the Bears and the Packers go up by 3 scores. Guess what happens now? Caleb now has to become a drop back passer because the Packers are no longer going to key in on the run as much, right? It's going to become a more one-sided game. So we had them really where we wanted them. And again, the officiating really came into play here. Now let's move along to someone else who's not a Packers fan. Jordan Rodriguez, who done the Play Callers podcast, actually covers the Rams, I believe. That's her primary position. Let's see here. Yeah, the Play Callers and Finding Rams. So she covers the Rams, 84,000 followers. She even tweeted out, "I'm not a but the calls person at all, but did Parsons not have an arm wrapped around his neck there for a while?" So you've got the national sports media members tweeting out from their own accounts like, are y'all seeing what these officials are doing to the Packers right here? It's absolutely wild. Now, I went and took a screen grab or a picture of the specific play that Tom Brady was talking about, which was wild to me. Tom Brady said on the broadcast, "How does Caleb Williams continue to get away?"
Well,
I don't know. Maybe because Micah Parsons is getting choked. Look at this. No call on this play. He's lit. And somebody said, "Oh, it's a rip move." It ain't no rip move. Micah doesn't do rip moves. You don't see him rip. He literally dips and speeds underneath. He may bring his arm up a little bit to keep his balance, but he's not using the rip move where they can hold. And regardless, you've got a Bears offensive lineman with his hand on the throat of Micah Parsons, not his arm hooked around his neck, literally his hand on his throat, on his Adam's apple, holding him from getting to the quarterback. No call across the board. It's absolutely wild, man. And then Coach LaFleur was asked about it. You'll give me a screen grab here, Tim. Coach LaFleur was asked about it after the game. And here is what was said by Coach LaFleur on the officiating. And then we're going to go around the horn with everybody else. He literally sounds like he's at a loss for words, right? And all I said was, "Join the club, Coach." Here we go.
I think it is a difficult job, but, I guess I don't know what holding is anymore because I thought that was pretty clear and obvious hold, but I guess I don't know what that means.
And that's the only way you can answer, right? Like, what the hell is a holding call now? Again, they can no longer use the excuse, Jacob, of the officials, right? The officials, or not the officials, but they can no longer use the excuse, "Oh, it's a rip move. It's a rip move." Not every pass rush is a freaking rip move, right? Explain what's on the screen right now, Amelia.
We got
is that a bag of dirt?
That is a bag of dirt on a football field with the bag is actually striped black and white. But yeah, some good calls from that thing today or yesterday.
Again, the fact that you dominated the first half, Tim, we'll start with you. You dominated the first half, right? And then you've seen the officials kind of keep them in the game the whole time. You still win by 7 points, covering the 6.5-point spread against a team that was first place in the division and fighting for the number 1 seed in the NFC as a whole. You overcame the bad officiating at home of all places, right? You're supposed to have a little bit of a home field advantage at Lambeau. I say this not to harp too much on the negative aspect of the bad officiating, but to me, I'm fired the hell up because you overcame that, Tim. You still came out there with the dub, bro.
Yeah. going to choose my words carefully here because this whole conversation pisses me off. I'm going to say the quiet part out loud. I'm tired of pretending that it's bad officiating. How do you not see that? How do you miss the call? Hey, it's intentional. Let's just say what it is. It's intentional. You're ignoring things. You're tilting games. It says everything you need to know that the league will fine anyone who dare says anything bad about the refs, yet does absolutely nothing about the dumpster fire that NFL officiating is. And we'll say it that way. It's not just us. There are other teams that get screwed on a weekly basis. I'm not going to sit here and pretend anymore like, man, how are they so bad? It's not there. It's intentional. This is intentional neglecting of what you should be doing on the field as an official, which is call the game as you see it and let the players decide the outcome of these games, not trying to, keep the Chicago Bears in the game because, well, they're down 14-3 at Lambeau. We can't let this get out of hand.
Right.
It's just ridiculous. And, I'm not going to pretend anymore. It's not bad officiating. There is an agenda and there is intent behind what's happening. I'm convinced of it now.
Yeah, and to Tim's point here, Amelia, I want to get your take on this. H.E. Solder in the chat said, are we looking at this wrong? Should the Packers just go with the chokehold pass blocking technique? That's what I said a few weeks ago. I said, you know what? The hell with it. Everybody hold. On offense, hold. If they're not going to call it, hold. We did that, and we got flagged for holding. And then yesterday, of course, as Chester Marco points out, it's almost impossible for the long snapper to hold. LOL. We got called for a holding on the long snapper on a freaking punt. And what did he do? He had two guys he was trying to block. He put a hand here and hooked his arm on the other guy, just kind of holding him back, right? Which is a hold. But he didn't have his hand around his freaking throat.
No,
and what's
holding
crazy
on
is
every play.
Yeah, right. Exactly. So if you're going to call it both ways, right? That's all we're asking.
Yep. Yeah. No, there's holding on every play. The fact that you're able to call it on a long snapper as he's kicking back on a punt. Come on now. You're getting real nitpicky there. You're really choosing on what you want to call. And yeah, you're the fact that they had 4 penalties under 20 yards. It was like, okay, no, we gave the Bears some penalties. It's not like we didn't, but ours were, almost 10 yards of penalty. Theirs were like 3 or 4. So exactly. It's just, you can turn it quick with that hidden yardage.
Yeah. And as Dave Fish says here, Jacob, could it be that the NFL wants a competitive Chicago team? It is so obvious they want the Bears in that large market Chicago. They want the Jets in the large market New York area, along with the Giants. They want these large market teams to be competitive so bad. You're not going to be able to convince me that that's not going on behind the scenes. Like in any way, shape, or form that you can prop it's why the mainstream sports media, what do? They're always propping the Bears up. Oh, this is the year. This is the year. Yeah. Because they know that if they build a bunch of hype around a large market team, there's going to be a ton of casual fans in these big cities. They're going to flock to watch their network and get fired up for the Bears. And then the second it falls apart, they go back to doing whatever the hell they want to do. If they're in Miami, they're going to go to the beach. They're going to go hang out there, right? If they're in Chicago, I guess they'll take to the streets and act like a bunch of idiots. That's what seems to go on in Chicago most of the time. Again, it's mind-boggling to me. And we've got a lot of Packer fans that are embedded in the Chicago area, and they tell me this stuff. It's not just this is Clayton in Tennessee or Tim in Green Bay or Jacob in a small town in Wisconsin. This is like common knowledge. This is what's going on with the big market teams. And it absolutely sucks. And again, I've always defended against the conspiracy theories, Jacob. I know you pressed into them a little bit, but it's getting it's getting more and more difficult for me to just go, no, come on, guys. Yesterday, you had an official. I will never forget. I froze when I paused it to get a screen grab off the TV. I paused it, and there's an official staring right at Micah, who's got an arm around his neck. Yeah, and it's like, you cannot tell me you didn't see it. You're looking right at it. Yeah. What are you doing? And Micah stopped complaining. Micah used to go to the officials and go, "What? Can I get a hold?" He just stopped. He said, "I'm just over it." He said it yesterday in his post-game whatever interview. He's like, I'm done trying. Like, what do you do
now? Mike is just gonna have to just hang on to the hand, fall over like, dude's choking me. I need you to sell it now at this point. I need you to LeBron that thing up for me, Mike. Get really really sell the thing. Like, you've been choked out, you can't breathe anymore. Because they're not going to do anything about it unless he literally is coming off the edge and just collapses because, dude, and then just sit there, fall on the ground for 5 minutes as you can't breathe. I mean, we need to get something to sell it to them to really be like, all right, we can't just keep letting this slide by like that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jake.
I think it's probably because I know for a fact that Clayton, obviously Tim, we care about this league and this game so much that we don't want to understand or don't want to admit that maybe there could be someone's thumbs on the scales to this point anymore. If you guys are going to be good at it, be sneaky about it. At this point, it feels like it's not sneaky. It feels very obvious. And that's to me where I think that it's being really almost offensive to us as in our intelligence. To Jen's has no tin hat foil required anymore. It's just, it is what it is. To Chuck's point, WWE with a football. I mean, if you look at it, you guys can tell me if I'm wrong, but I believe in the fine print in the NFL rules. They said it isn't an entertainment business, and that if they need to do anything to make the entertainment factor more or less qualifiable, that they can basically do whatever they want to do. I just to me, it's getting to the point where it's egregious, and the fact that we're sitting here talking about how Micah needs to learn how to act. That's crazy.
It's crazy, right?
You know what I'm saying? And to your point, I watched it last night. There was multiple times. Legal hands to the face apparently isn't a thing anymore. Like you said, having a chokehold. I mean, to the point where he's wrapped his arms around him and he's not going for a rip move, just literally trying to get around a guy, and he's got him locked in. Like it's getting ridiculous. And I really just wish that they would just. I saw some other people in the chat saying that they need to be full-time refs. Will that help? I don't know. Like, they're full-time scammers. Okay, cool.
Right. And here's Chester Marco. Great point. He says Green Bay is an absolutely enormous national fan base, though. That's a great point. But here, you're not looking at it from the right angle. The majority of the media money that's shared, because and you got to tip your cap and give a shout out to the Mara family. Way back in the day with the Giants in New York, they could have taken all of that media money for themselves, but they decided, let's spread it throughout the rest of the league, right? Let's spread it throughout the rest of the league. That way, we can keep some of these smaller market teams up like that. It's deeper than this, Chester. Chester says Green Bay is an absolutely enormous national fan base, though. But the majority of the media money come from those large cities. So you want to keep them happy for business, right? You want to make sure their teams are propped up. That's what's going on here. And isn't it ironic that the large market teams are the ones that have been the worst? The Jets, the Giants, the Bears, right? And like even in Dallas, I'm sure Dallas has got a fairly large media market down there as well. They've been that way. When was the last time they won a playoff game? Was it been like over 30 years or something? Right.
So they've had to hook to the coattails of the Chiefs, right? That have just been running it ever since. Small town team, middle of the country sort of thing. But you can hop on, you can grab onto that because they won so much recently.
You know what I don't get is to the credit here of Andy, take away their pay. Okay, well, so if the players can get fined, when's the last time a ref got fined for absolutely blowing a game or graded? Never. What are we doing? There's an easy, simple way to stop this kind of nonsense. Like, and then you talked about, I can't remember, it was just a couple of years ago, the guys that should have never even been eligible for refereeing in the playoffs because of how bad their calls were throughout the year. And then they just get to ref a game. Like, what are we doing? Like, what are we doing here? Uh-oh.
What's me?
Yarr.
What's me? Tim, you got anything else you want to add on this, bro?
No, I can't talk about this anymore without cursing. So
all right, there you go. Soder said he will. Soder with the super chat. Reminder that the Referees Association contract expires May 31st, 2026. That explains some of this. Interesting. Okay. And again, this thing, there's levels to this thing, right? There are levels to it. I just want the game to be pure. And I'm coming to the realization it's never going to be 100% pure. I mean, especially with what just happened to the NBA, right?
I was going to say.
Oh, yeah.
That was
the
right
MLB.
Yeah, well, why don't we take a look at these refs and how much money they had on these games?
Yeah, I have a feeling, Tim, it's eventually going to happen.
I think so.
It's eventually going to happen. Now we got to be careful here because there's going to be a political aspect that comes into play, and why the NBA got caught but the NFL hasn't yet. If there is something there. And again, this is all alleged. Nobody's saying that everything's fixed. We're just saying it looks bad. Like, I'm going to get a little closer to the camera. Listen to me, NFL. You're not fooling anybody. This looks really bad. Please fix it before it becomes an absolute joke, because that's what's next. People are on. They're looking up, going, okay, you guys keep turning your head like this isn't happening. You've got Matt LaFleur will probably get fined for that. By the way, that's how it works. Oh, you talk about the fish? Shh. No, But then you can go on NFL Network and watch the analysts rake individual players over the damn calls. That's okay. But you're not allowed to point out that an official missed the call. That's just absolutely insane.
Crazy.
So, yeah, thank you for the super chat there, Soda. Appreciate you, buddy. So, all right, that's it. We're out of here. We're way over. I'm hoping that Mandy isn't awake yet. It's 11. She's awake. Oh, no. That's going to be me right there. I'm going to be in the front yard. I'm going to be out there in the creek with a boat like a pirate trying to survive. You know what I mean? I'll build me a ship out there. So if you guys are watching this video back later, let us know what you think about the officiating. Are we overreacting? Maybe we're overreacting, man. Maybe we see it different than most fans. Maybe that's the case. But let us know in the comments whether you agree, disagree. Maybe there's a penalty that should have been called that we didn't mention. I'm sure there was a couple on the Packers that maybe they got away with too. But boy, oh boy, anybody who watches that game, if you look up and go, oh boy, the officials helped the Packers. That's not what the number said. It's damn sure not what the tape says. But let us know what you think. Make sure you hit like, subscribe, and click the bell icon so you're notified when we go live in the future. And that's going to do it for your Victory Monday. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. We had a bunch of people in here. If y'all would smash that like button before we get out of here. We may go live again in the early afternoon. We'll see how the day unfolds. We'll definitely be back tonight, 6 p.m. Central for PTA Live. We'll give you all the PFF grades and let you know which players really did perform well. Emilio, give them one little nugget. Is there a player that comes to mind based off the prelims last night, just off the top of your head, that stood out that you said, oh, they look like they're going to have a good grade? Was there anybody?
We had Evan Williams was the 86-2. He was highest by 15 points on our defense. Then Christian Watson was number 1 with the 83-6. We had 4 in the 80s, Christian, Josh Jacobs, Jordan Love, and Luke Musgrave. So we'll see how those kind of end up tonight here. Yeah,
definitely. Andy Dubs in the chat. Love you guys. Thanks for everything. Go Pack Go. Thank you all. If there were nobody watching, commenting, and hanging out with us, Victory Mondays would suck. The listeners, the viewers, you are the ones that make this so much fun on Victory Mondays. So again, the Packers get the dub 28-21. Appreciate you guys. We'll see you all this evening, 6 p.m. Central for PTA Live. My name's Clayton. This is PTA. That's Emilio. That's Jacob. That's Tim. Go Pack Go.
Here we go.
We're out. Bye, guys.